No, it's not a clickbait. Religion is a scam. And a lot of people are not ready to have this conversation, but that's okay. That just proves that they themselves are a victim of this. Anyways, they are stupid. They don't know what exactly is it they follow. They have no idea what it is that they have this blind faith in. And they just use religion as an excuse to avoid being a decent person. They literally use it as an excuse to hate on other people, harm others, and resent everybody just because they don't belong to their religion or they don't believe that their God is the true God. There's this interesting story to actually understand this in the easiest way possible. So, let's say thousands of years ago, millions, billions, whatever, years ago, there were a group of aliens, or you can call them divine beings. And they looked at our planet, they looked at Earth, and they thought, they saw humans just living in fear and anger and grief. They don't know what the purpose of life is, they don't know how to actually lead a decent, happy, fulfilling life. And they saw and they looked at humans and they thought, you know what? They actually need to know certain information so they can actually live a happy life. They can actually live a prosperous and whatever, peaceful life. So they decided that this message, this piece of information, need to reach humans some way or the other. And since there was no internet, there was nothing, they couldn't make a video and post it and it would just go viral and everybody would know about it and would become a trend or whatever. What they decided was they are going to take birth in the form of humans on the planet Earth in their own time zones in different parts of the world, in different countries, in different cultures, and they would teach that message, they would convey that piece of information to all those people in their own language based on their culture, whatever works for them, whatever makes them understand the message the best. So all of them were born on earth in their own time. Jesus was born in one part of the world, Buddha was born in the east, Prophet was born in another corner of the world, Krishna was born in India. In fact, many of the gods were born in India. And what they did is they walked among humans and eventually they did, over a period of time, convey that piece of information, convey that message to those group of people who they were born around. Maybe their city, their town, their village, whatever. And they taught people around them the message of truth, love, kindness, positivity, discipline, doing your duty without being attached to the result, and everything. The language they spoke in, the methods they taught were different according to the understanding of different people across the world. But the message, the core message was always the same. It was always the same. You could go to Google, you could go to ChatGPT right now, and you can individually type in and search for what religion teaches what exactly, and you individually ask ChatGPT for all the messages of all the particular religions. And at last, what I want you to do is, I want you to use the prompt. Now, what is the core message of all these gods or of all these religions? And you will find out, if you don't know it already, that each and every religion is literally teaching you the same thing. The message and the main core message of every god or messenger or whatever is literally the same. And what did people do about it? They literally divided themselves on the basis of their messengers. They ignored the message and they started worshipping the messenger. They're just out here like, we don't give a fuck about the message. We just want to worship anybody. We should just want to have this blind faith. I told you not to harm each other. What are people doing? They are resenting, hating on each other. They are unaliving. In India, people literally unalive each other on the basis of religion. Most people don't care about what God told them to do. Most people don't care about love. Most people don't care about kindness and truth and discipline. Most people don't care about not harming anybody else and not hating on anybody and not resenting or not putting other people down. They don't care about that. You come into this world not knowing what the purpose of life is. You don't know what is the purpose of life. You don't know the meaning of life. You don't know why you're supposed to be here. And religion is a way of life. Religion is literally a guidebook, more like religion and not religion. It is literally a guidebook to teach you how to lead your life in the happiest, most peaceful, and most fulfilling way possible. It literally teaches you that it tells you exactly what to do and what to avoid doing in order to have a good, great life. They have built these temples and mosques and churches and all these buildings, and they have placed God there. And they go to it every day thinking God is going to be happy about it. God doesn't give a shit about all of that if you're out here lying, cheating, harming other people, unaliving people on the basis of religion, not being your truest self, not being disciplined, not leading your happiest life. God doesn't give a shit about you praying and worshiping to Him if you're not, if you're just blind to what God's message is, what actually He actually wants from you. You don't give a fuck about that. Not even bothering to be a decent person. And most people don't understand that. They don't want to hear it. And this isn't to say that God doesn't exist, that God is not real. But it doesn't exist in the shape, way, or form that you believe that it exists in. It isn't a cross, it isn't a statue, it is not a stone, it's not confined in a box. It is a presence. It is you. You are the universe experiencing itself in a human form. Now, what the hell does that even mean? It has taken me a really long time to understand this, but I'm going to explain it to you in the easiest way possible. Let's say you were born rich. Imagine you were born filthy rich, like fuck you rich, and you have a shit load of money in your bank account. And you have had all the luxuries, you have had all the pleasures of the material world that one could ever have. Like, you have more money than you could ever count, ever keep track of, ever even spend. When you imagine yourself like that, you will have everything. You will have all the luxuries, the pleasures, everything materialistic. You will have access to any and everything you want in the world, and you wouldn't know what it's like to have a middle class perspective. You don't know what it's like to not have money. You have no idea what it's like to be poor or to be middle class. Have you seen celebrities doing normal people stuff and finding it cute? I've seen this video of Kylie Jenner and her mom, and they go grocery shopping, I think for the first time in their life. They do their own grocery shopping on their own for the first time. And they go to a car wash and they find it, oh my god, that's cute. That's cute. Girl, that's a normal life. You look at it and you be like, that's literally a person, that's literally a life of a normal person out here. And you even feel like they're making fun of you. But they're actually not, because they have not had the chance to even experience what it is like to live like a normie. I have even heard stories of kings in ancient times. You know, they dress up as normal village people and they walk among around the village among the village people as if like a normie, basically like a common person, so that they get to experience what it's like to live the life of people of his kingdom, so he can understand their problems, and so he can understand what they face and go through in their daily lives, and so they can solve their problems, you know. And it is literally the same with the all powerful, all knowing universe, source, divine, God, whatever you call it. It is literally the same thing with that. The thing about the universe is that it is all powerful, it is all knowing, it is full of love, it is abundant, it is forgiving, it is perfection. Like, if there is one word that I could use for this, um, is it's perfection. And it has always been that way. God has always been perfect. Universe, source, divine, it has always been perfect. And how could it not be? It literally created all of us. It literally created this universe. What it does is part of it takes the form of a human being, so it gets to experience life with certain restrictions. It's like God being bored with all his power and knowingness and everything. And now it decided, you know what? I want to experience what it's like to have certain foundations. I want to experience what it's like to have just a percentage of all this power, of all this knowingness, of all everything that I am. I want to experience what it's like to have just a itsy bitsy percentage of it. We're all, and it applies to each and every single person, every single human being. We are all born with certain restrictions. It can be financial. You could be born poor because God wants to experience through you what it's like to not have certain resources and how to get by that and attain that financial success for yourself. The restrictions could be societal. You could be born in a culture where people of your kind are not respected. God is experiencing life through you where it is not respected, and it learns through you how to make your name and work your way at the top and earn that respect. It feels like you are evolving, it feels like you're growing, but what is actually happening is you're just remembering your true essence, that you're already that powerful, that you already have everything that you could ever want or ever desire in this life. You already have all that, and you are just removing all the restrictions and obstacles in your life to remember what you already were. You were not born broken and then you fix yourself in this life. You were born perfect. Your true essence, your natural state of being is perfection, and you don't work your way to the top. Literally, you literally just remove certain things from your life so you can experience your own true essence. The restrictions could even be being born in a toxic family, and that leaves you with a bunch of trauma. But when you decide to learn from it and heal and grow out of it, you're not actually becoming a better person. You are remembering what you already are. You already are healed. You already are love and light and peace and abundant. You already are all those things. You are just choosing to be born in a negative environment in a toxic family so that you can learn what it's like to be a commoner, just the way it is a hobby for the rich to, you know, do certain things for a day or two to experience what it's like to be middle class. You know what I mean? So all of us experience some or the other problems in our life, be it Africans, Americans, white people, black people, men, women, Indians, anybody. Even the rich have their own problems. They are just not financial. It can be as small as learning how to respect yourself. It can be as small as learning how to set a boundary. It can be as simple as learning how to be in a good, healthy relationship. It can be as simple as learning to walk away where you're not respected and valued. All these small things actually help you to grow and heal, which is actually remembering your true essence. You already are whole. You already are love and light and peace and happiness and abundance. You already are an essence of God. You just forget it when you are born on this planet. You just remove all these restrictions that human life has imposed on you, and you work to remember that you are God. You know, when people say that being a good person makes you closer to God, I actually believe being a good person makes you closer to remembering that you're God itself. It is the small things. It is always the smallest things. When you learn how to respect yourself, you remove a restriction and you move closer to remembering your true essence. When you learn how to forgive people, when you learn how to build boundaries, when you learn how to break out of toxic patterns, when you learn how to receive and give love fully, when you learn how to master the material world, when you learn how to trust in the unknown, with every step you take towards self development, towards your spiritual, emotional, mental, physical health, you come closer to remembering who you truly are. When you become aware of all this, the idea of going to temples and churches and all these buildings to find God, it starts to sound absurd. The idea of finding God outside of yourself is absurd. Because now you know what it means when people are like, God is within you, that you are God's child, because you quite literally are a part of it. So, focusing on your own growth, working towards being happy, loving yourself, respecting yourself, valuing yourself, being kind to others, is quite literally doing God's work. Having faith in yourself is no less than having faith in God. And this is exactly what each and every one of the gods, Jesus, Prophet, Krishna, Buddha, everybody was trying to tell the people. This is exactly what they were trying to inform them about. But people ignored the message and worshipped the messenger. People, stupid people. Anyways, everything else is BS. It is nothing. It is just to scare you. It is just to control you and your choices. It is just to monetize your blind faith towards something external. And that is it. It does nothing but bring even more chaos, hate, resentment towards each other, and death in this world. That is all it does. So constantly just focus on yourself. Focus on loving yourself, improving yourself, being happy, being the best version of yourself, and making your life the best possible life that one has ever lived. Religion is a way of life. It should be a lifestyle, nothing other than that. This is it for today's video, guys. I love you all, and I will see you in the next one.